What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first Tutorial Tuesday. And as I mentioned on the video I've posted last Sunday just gone, I thought it'd be a good idea to start doing these videos on a Tuesday and call them Tutorial Tuesday as a way of being able to teach you what I'm learning and what I'm finding out, instead of trying to put it all into one whole video for a Sunday, which I think is going to make it really long and therefore boring and drag on, etc. So I'm going to try and do it this way so that I'll keep Sunday to the trades I'm looking at, the trades I'm in, how they've done profit wise and stop loss here, etc, and then keep a Tuesday video to what I'm learning, how I've learned it, so I can put it across to you guys. And then also obviously any websites we're looking at or anything new, basically anything that I'm learning I can then give to you guys on these videos. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned something from today's session. We're going to be looking at candlestick patterns and movements, so how they basically can give us indications which way the market's going, where the market's going, and also looking at the possible candlesticks which can give us entry points and for trades. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into the video. So we're going to start off with a couple of the candle patterns which I learned right at the start, one of the first videos I watched, and then we'll go through those, and then at the end we'll look at possible candlesticks which are our entry signal and which are our ones that we're going to be looking at for that will give us the indication that we need to buy now or sell now. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is we'll put them up on screen so you can see what candlesticks I'm referring to, go through them, and then we'll do it like that. So let's start off with the long day, which is the first one. As you can see on screen, we have the red candlesticks coming on a downtrend, which is then followed by one long green candlestick, which starts at the bottom of the red candlestick and then goes all the way up, which is a long candlestick, as you can see, and then followed by more green candlesticks to the upside. This is identifying that the market has had a shift from sellers to buyers in this instance, or if we flip it around, it's buyers to sellers, which is indicating that in this instance on screen is a bearish to a bullish reversal market. Next up we have the short day. So this is another version of the long day, but as you can see we have the red candlesticks the same as before coming on a downward trend, but then we are matched by a short candlestick with a long wick underneath, and then followed which is a reversal to the upside, followed by green candlesticks upwards. This is known for being a candlestick or a candlestick pattern which is trying to show that the market is either slow or choppy. Probably one to stay out of the way of for your beginning. You don't really want to be getting into any trades at that point because it's not giving you any indication of which way the market's going to be going. So yeah, this is another bearish to bullish reversal or bullish to bearish reversal, depending on which way the candlesticks are going. But it's again identifying that the market is slow and not necessarily giving you a lot of information, so you don't want to be buying at these candlesticks. Then we have the next one, which is called the belt line. So this is basically a way of the market signifying a potential reversal in the current trend. As you can see, we have on the bullish belt hold line, we have a decline in the market, which is then followed by three green candlesticks to the upside, one long with two shorter ones following up to the upside, identifying there a reversal up in the bullish direction. Then if we flip it, it's same for the bearish, an uptrend, which is then followed by a red line coming to the downside, and another flip, but this time in a bearish reversal pattern. These are again ones to keep an eye out for because they are good indicators that we're going from a bearish to a bullish or a bullish to bearish. Basically just the market saying, right, okay, the buyers are now, or the sellers are now slowing down, and buyers are entering the market, just coming down or going back up, whichever way around it is. This is a good identification to show that we're having a reversal in the market to either the uptrend, upside, or the downside, depending on obviously which way the market's going in the first place. Next up, we have the morning star and evening star. So these are similar, but basically on the other end. So the morning star you have in the morning when the markets are starting up, which is why it's called a morning star. Normally these occur when the markets are starting up, beginning of London, beginning of New York sessions, and you have the evening star, which is when the markets are starting to slow down. So let's have a look. We have here the morning stars, which is 3 declining red candlesticks, which is then slowed down by a small green candle, which is then followed by a larger red, green candle to the upside, and going to the upside. So for the morning stars, this is giving us indication that it is going to be an upward trend for most likely for that day. Good indication, but again, it's in the morning, in the evening. I've not, from what I've read and what I've watched, I wouldn't recommend getting into trades too early in the morning, because there can be some indecision with everything starting up, people starting to get into the market, selling, buying, etc. I think it could be a very indecisive market very early in the morning when these lights come, but it's a good indication to show which way the market's going. So then let's flip it and have a look at the evening star. Again, this is very similar. You've got green candlesticks to the upside, which is then met by a small red candlestick, and then that comes to the downside in a bearish market. Again, exactly the same as the bullish that I've just said. So it's a reversal, good indication for which way the market's going to be going for that day. So next up we have the shooting star. This appears at the end of an uptrend to be pushing back down to a downtrend, and as you can see now on screen, we have a bullish market which is going upwards with green candlesticks, and then is met by a small red candlestick but has a large wick which is above it, sort of looking like a shooting star. Use your imagination. It's like a shooting star with a long tail behind, shooting down, giving you indication that the market is now going to be on a downtrend in that way. So it's a good identification to see that there is no longer buyers winning and the sellers are now entered the market to push it to the downside. So it is a reversal pattern confirmation and is a good signal to keep an eye out. Right, so following on from that one, we have the 3 inside, up and down. Starting with the up, this is where a large red bearish candlestick is followed by a small green candlestick, which starts at the bottom of the previous red candlestick and closes at least 50% of the red candlestick. Then this is followed by another green candlestick, which starts at the top of the previous green candlestick and finishes over and above the previous red candlestick. This is a good bullish reversal pattern, identifying that now sellers are slowed down, buyers are back in the market, pushing up to the upside. And then roles reverse for the downside. We have a large green candlestick followed by a red candlestick which closes at least 50% of the previous candlestick, followed by another red bearish candlestick which closes at least below the green candlestick. This is then a bearish reversal pattern. Now we have the 3 outside, up and down. So starting with the up, we have a red candlestick on the left, which is then engulfed by a green candlestick to the upside, followed by a second green candlestick to the upside. This is plain and simple. It's just a bearish reversal pattern, identifying the market is now going to be going for an uptrend. Looking at the opposite side, we have the down, which is a small green candlestick from a bullish market, which is then engulfed by a red candlestick, and then followed by another second red candlestick which closes below the previous red candlestick. This is a bearish reversal pattern. It's as simple as that, showing us that the market is now changing from buyers to sellers or sellers to buyers. So next up we have the 3 stars in the south and the 3 advancing white soldiers. So starting with the 3 stars in the south, this is a bullish reversal pattern which consists of 3 red candlesticks, each closing below the previous one, suggesting a gradual weakening of the bearish trend and looking at a bullish reversal to the upside. It's as simple as that, looking at them 3 last candles in the downtrend, which is suggesting a weakening in the market of sellers and buyers entering to push it back up to the upside. Then we have the 3 advancing white soldiers. This is 3 consecutive long green candlesticks, each starting in the previous candlestick and finishing in higher than the previous. This is a strong bullish reversal. This is one to keep an eye out on, and personally I've had a trade which was to profit on this exact candle movement, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for something like this, with a bearish market coming down and then followed by 3 advancing white soldiers to the upside, pushing up for a uptrend. So moving on, we have the hammer and inverted hammer candlestick movement. Right, starting with the hammer one, if you take a look here, as you can see, it's a bullish reversal pattern which comes from the downside, which is then at the bottom met with a green candlestick with a long wick at the bottom. Use your imagination, it looks like a hammer handle with the block on the top as the head of the hammer to push to the upside as a better bullish reversal pattern. This is definitely one to keep an eye out on from what I've read and obviously watched, but it's a very good one. Then we'll flip it over to the inverted hammer. This is again still a bullish reversal pattern. It's coming down from the downtrend. It then has the exact same, but the green candlestick is flipped. So you'll have the green block at the bottom and the candlestick candle wick at the top, which then will push up to the upside. This is an entry signal that you can use. So if you're looking to use this as an entry signal, you're going to want to enter your trade on after the inverted hammer candle. You want to then enter in the next candlestick at the top of the previous wick of the hammer candle, of the inverted hammer candle, and put your stop loss at the bottom of the inverted hammer candle. Then push to the upside. A good possible entry signal candlestick pattern there. So now we have the hangman candlestick pattern. This is where you have an uptrend, which is then met at the top by a red candlestick with a long wick below, then followed by several red candlesticks to the downside. This appears at the top of an uptrend and is a good indication of a bearish reversal pattern to the downside. So keeping your eyes out for something like this, as it could indicate strongly which way the market is going. So next up, we have the bullish and bearish harami candlestick. So starting off with the bullish, we have a red candlestick, which has then followed by a smaller green candlestick, which is inside the previous red candlestick, indicating a potential bullish reversal. Then we flip it and we have the bearish harami candlestick, which is again the exact same. It is a bullish candlestick, green candlestick on the left, which is then followed by a red candle inside the previous green candle. Potential bearish continuation down to the downside on that. So moving on, we have the piercing line and the dark cloud cover. So these are a bearish and bullish reversal patterns, very similar, just for an uptrend or a downtrend. So starting off with the piercing line, as you can see, we have a downtrend of red candles coming down, which is then followed by a green candle which starts slightly below the previous red and finishes at least 50% of the previous red candlestick. This will then be followed by continued green candles to the upside, as a bullish reversal pattern. So keep an eye out for that one, as that is also a good one to look out for as a bearish reversal. Now we'll flip it and we'll have a look at the dark cloud cover, which is basically the same. You have a upward market with green candles, which is then a large green candlestick followed by a red candle which starts above and closes at least 50% of the previous green candlestick, and then followed by more red candles to the downside. This is now a reversal for the bearish market to the downside. Exactly the same, just flipped over. Keep an eye out for those to indicate which way the market's going to be going. So now we have the tweezer top and tweezer bottom. So these are exactly the same, just one for a bearish reversal and one for a bullish reversal. Let's have a look at the tweezer top. So we have a strong market to the upside with green candles. We have a long green candlestick, which is then matched by a long red candlestick to the downside, basically starting and closing at the same points. And then after the red candlesticks closed, it will be followed by more red candlesticks to the downside. Let's switch it over to the tweezer bottom. We have the red candlesticks to the downside, which is then followed by a green candle which matches, opens and closes at the same points as the previous red candle, which is then followed by more candles to the upside for a bullish reversal pattern. So finally, we're on to the last two candlesticks movements, which is a bearish and bullish engulfing candlestick. These are, from what I can gather, the most used candlestick as an entry signal. This is what everyone is looking out for to identify whether the market is going to be going up or down as an entry signal to a trade. So let's start with the bullish engulfing candlestick. As you can see, we have a red candle on the left hand side, which is then engulfed by a green candle which is larger. It starts below and finishes above, completely engulfing the previous red candle. Now let's flip it over to the bearish engulfing candlestick. We have a green candle which is then engulfed by a red candlestick which starts below and closes above the previous candlestick. So when we're using this as an entry candlestick pattern, we're looking for the engulfing candlestick to at least start and close above and below the previous two candlesticks as a strong indication, as an entry point for which way that market is going to be going. Obviously, it's up to you guys if you want to just go off one. But for me personally, and from what I've watched and also looked at as well, studying the markets, the bearish, the engulfing candlestick, if it engulfs at the last two or three, it normally goes in that direction to either the down or the upside, depends on whether it's a bearish or bullish engulfing candlestick. But for me, my entry point comes, so we'll have the engulfing candlestick, then you'll have another candlestick which follows on. So if it's a bearish, we'll have another red candlestick to the downside. I'll be entering as soon as that one's closed, that's when I enter. So I have confirmation that it's a engulfing candlestick to the downside, then the second candlestick which confirms okay, we've got sellers in the market, it's going to push down to the downside. So I'll enter once that's closed and it's confirmation that it's going downwards. Again, it obviously varies, obviously not by everyone will do it slightly different, but the engulfing bearish and bullish candlesticks are the ones to be looking out for your entry points into trades. So that is the end of the candlestick patterns. Again, these are just a few of several, I don't know, maybe hundreds. From what I can see, there is loads. But these are the ones that I've seen the most of and that I've watched videos on. So they're the ones that I thought I'd share with you rather than trying to show you all of them. I just showed you the main ones that I've been told and learned so far in my journey. So definitely go back in the video, jot down a few pointers on them, or I don't know, draw them down like I have done as well. And yeah, properly look into them and start to look in the market and identify where they're happening. Definitely worth learning more on candlestick patterns, because they are a good indication for which way the market's going to be going. And they're also good to be looking out for your entry points, especially if, like me, you're a swing trader. I look at the higher time frames, you know, 1 day, 4 hours, that's where I'm looking. So as soon as I go into my 1 hour, 30 minutes time frames to be looking for entry points, I'm looking out for these candlesticks. So the patterns that I'm looking for are in the higher time frames, but as soon as I come into low ones, I'm making sure that it's still following a downtrend, obviously, or an uptrend, whichever way I'm going. But then I'm looking for those sort of candlestick patterns to identify, okay, it is still going down there, and this is where I want my entry point to be. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it, or at least you've written something down, and whatever it may be, you've found something out that you didn't know. Again, all I'm doing is trying to show you what I've learned in the last few weeks and starting my journey from knowing absolutely nothing. And I'll continue to do it over the next few weeks, or however long it may take for me to get there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this sort of stuff. Let me know if you do in the comments, or on my Instagram, which I'll link all that below. It's just CallumFX_, where I'll post some stuff as well to do with the trades more than anything. But yeah, just like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Give me any tips as well. I'm hoping that my video editing skills and my videos will get better over time, but again, I'm completely new to it all, so yeah, just getting familiar with recording myself and editing and stuff like that. So hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next.